Hello and welcome to another random review. Well, I guess I shouldn't say random because we are trying to get these to be semi-regular since people actually like these shits. I'm your host and friendly referee, Zax Rating, and today I'm joined by the one who loves children so much that she converted them into cats, Neko.
I call them my fur babies. That's not weird at all, right?
I can just hear the internet saying no. That's the sad part. There's too many of
There'll
you.
be, there'll be too many people who want to agree with me, and that is very scary.
Yes, that's my whole point. Alright, so as if it wasn't obvious by the title of this video, we're going to be talking about Harley Quinn, and if we're lucky, Warner Brothers is going to be nice, unlike Hulu and Fox, and not give a shit about using their footage in a promotional manner and for fair use reasoning. Because even though YouTube does respect and support fair use content, them bitches love to send content ID blocks. However, I've been told DC is a little bit more lenient with it, especially since this is going to be a positive review. Now, just so we're clear, I just want people to know at the time of this recording, Season 3 is not out. We have only seen Season 1 and Season 2, and on top of that, we'll be making sure to try to always credit the proper actors, because even if she forgot to do it, we're going to be going to IMDb and making sure we can say the names of the people we don't know. But to be fair, I kind of know who half the cast already are because I've been watching their stuff. Everybody loves Jason Alexander, so he goes without saying. And if you don't know who Jason Alexander is, you're probably Neko and the internet hates you.
It's true. But I did bring up the page, so I am looking at all the voice actors, and I do see them.
Seinfeld. He was the little chubby guy with glasses from Seinfeld.
The picture's too small. Let me click on it. Oh, that guy. Hey, yeah.
That reaction felt hilariously genuine. So yeah,
Can't
first
say
and
that
foremost,
wasn't.
I'd just like to say if anyone out there was disappointed, everyone and their mom, by the Harley Quinn, what was it called? Not Suicide Squad.
Birds of Prey. I don't know.
If you saw the live-action Birds of Prey movie featuring the emancipation of Harley Quinn, which, or I think at least I think that was the title, and you were severely disappointed by everything, rest assured, this show is the opposite of that. It's good, because the opposite of terrible is terrific.
You guys will find out very soon that I am not a Harley Quinn fan. And in fact, when my friend told me to watch this cartoon, I gave him a big, do you even know me? But I love this series. So yeah, this series is extremely well done.
I have underestimated how many Harley Quinn things there are.
Too many.
Harley Quinn and the Joker versus the Real World was a TV series in 2016. There's also a Harley Quinn TV series that was in 2015 where Batman and the Joker disappeared and Harley Quinn was having personality dissociative disorder, meaning she thought she was more than one person. And then there's another TV show in 2019, the one we're talking about, called Harley Quinn. So yeah, her popularity is a little bit disturbing. A little bit of a back history on Harley Quinn because, I feel like it needs to happen. And also, I don't mind trolling Harley Quinn fans because they piss me off by lying to my face all the time. Harley Quinn was never actually an original comic book character. Did you know that, Neko?
I did not. Please enlighten me.
Yeah, so basically about 4 years before you were born, one of the most famous television shows, albeit animated, came out. Batman the Animated Series. That was when the world was first introduced to Kevin Conroy as a voice actor. He's the Batman everyone thinks about when they see cartoon Batman. Now, here's the thing. The show did really, 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 really well. But there was a bit of a small issue, and I don't know if y'all would consider it an issue, but they wanted to correct it. The fan base for that show wasn't the target demographic they were hoping for, which was children, usually between the ages of maybe 2 and 10 or 12. It was everybody. It was grown adults, it was children, it was everybody. But they wanted to try to get more children naturally interested. I'm like, bitch, it's Batman. You had us at Batman. The fuck? So they created a different show, which people didn't even register as a different show at the time, called Batman and Robin. Right?
Was Robin the attempt to get kids into it? I don't know. That seems kind of weird.
Yeah, because first off, kids already like fucking Batman, and it was called Batman and Robin. However, the Joker being the main villain, even though he's not in that many episodes, but it's the Joker, voiced by Mark Hamill, aka Luke Skywalker, also his debut in the voice acting, and considered to be the premier Joker if you want a Joker voice actor. Yeah, small world. All right, so that guy, they wanted him to have a sidekick to challenge Robin. But that didn't kind of sort of end up happening. And what they ended up creating was Harley Quinn. But here's the thing about Harley Quinn. Her popularity was growing to the point where she was getting episodes about her. Obviously, the origin story needs to happen because where the fuck did she come from? You know? But the thing is that her origin story didn't come till damn near the show was almost over. Because as you know, they kept changing and iterating upon the show and the art style. It was Batman, the animated series. It was Batman and Robin. I believe they subtitled The New Animated Adventures. And then there was another Batman show. And that was the one, had all the same actors. It was the same story, but they changed the art style. Yeah. It's weird. Batman in the 90s got weird cartoon-wise because it was always the same Batman, but they changed the art style only one of the times, but they changed the show 3 times. And that same Batman is also in another show, making that one Batman show up in 4 different shows before 2000 even comes along, called Batman Beyond.
That's the one I've actually seen a couple episodes of. I've never been much of a Batman person, so I'm learning too, everyone. I'm learning right there with you.
Find it hard to believe as much as you like black shit. But anyways, the cast of Harley Quinn is kind of sort of a very interesting hodgepodge because on one hand, it's very notable actors for comedy, but at the same time, it's also people who are, for lack of a better term, they're fresh faces to voice acting because even if they've done it, they're not known for doing it. Or they're just people who have been in other DC-related shows, but this is their first time voice acting. Now, all right, so generally speaking, the plot of Harley Quinn, besides featuring a homicidal comedic murderer, is about Harley Quinn coming to the realization that she was in an abusive relationship. Oh no, it's almost like common sense now exists within her brain. You're dating and fucking a psychopathic killer who gets his rocks off by being a psychopathic killer and chasing after his one true love, Batman.
I had to do a little shout out here. And one of the main reasons why I've never liked Harley Quinn or the people who are into Harley Quinn is what was that?
Because she's a simp.
Kinda, actually. Yeah, you're right. She is. But I think it was I don't know if it was the creator or somebody who was a big time person in the DC universe straight up said Harley, I do not remember. Unfortunately, it was a long time ago. Someone told this to me.
Fine.
But Joker and Harley's relationship is not one you want to emulate. So all the people who are like, yeah, I'm Harley and this is my Joker. My husband's just like the Joker. And it's like, excuse me? So he beats you, probably rapes you, probably goes and kills people. You're saying that you want your husband to be like the Joker and you want to be put in Harley's situation? Okay, no thank you. So that's my little pet peeve about Harley Quinn fans, but I digress.
No, that's not even digress. That's accurate.
I guess that's why this series is so much better because it's Harley Quinn being independent, trying to give a big fuck you to the Joker. And it's her, It's her character growth arc. We get to see what Harley Quinn is going to do by herself and how she's going to change, grow, and I was about to say mature, but that's basically the same thing as change. But yeah, so it's Harley Quinn being independent and being awesome at the same time.
And finding ways to fuck it up.
Oh yeah, that's a big part of it.
So yeah, besides that, the subplot, or I guess the B plot, and for those who aren't sure, Nico, a B plot is...
Hey, I teach story development in my class. I know what a B plot is.
Oh yeah, Nico's also a teacher. I feel like that should be mentioned.
I teach animation, but the main class I teach also talks about story and character development.
She got an award for being the world's shortest teacher. So anyways, now the
Maybe.
B plot is basically Harley Quinn trying to be considered a respectable villain because she's not really considered a joke, no pun intended, or the laughingstock, also no pun intended, but she's considered to be basically a sidekick thought. Oh no, we got demonetized. We're talking about homicidal murderers, but thought gets us demonetized. That shit still blows my mind. Like I care about monetization. Anyways, so primarily the whole purpose of the first storyline is God damn it. Hell of a time to have hiccups. I didn't even eat anything right now. Anyways, is basically her trying to become or be considered a respectable standalone villain, even though her brain is filled with standalone complexes. And her associates, because some of them are friends, some of them are not, and some of them are just fellow assholes she sometimes gets along with, if you catch my drift. Because villains are villains. They're not out for anybody but themselves. Try to tell her or show her, hey, look, you get in a bad situation with Joker. But what I also like about it is that the entire show does not center around Harley, Joker, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. In fact, by the third episode, it's pretty much over with.
Pretty much, yeah.
I can thank one of my favorite characters, although the fucking worst dressed. Look, I'm a guy, I'm gonna admit I don't really give a shit about fashion, in a cartoon show especially, but it just irks me. Poison Ivy, who...
You're about to say she's...
Go ahead.
She is not poorly dressed. She is an elegant, classy lady. She don't take no shit.
And that last part is true. So, basically, Poison Ivy is one of the only characters that has common sense. Also, here's something that's gonna trip you guys. If you know anything about, well, just voices in general, everyone's gonna think Poison Ivy is voiced by Eva Longoria, a ex-supermodel who also ends up in a lot of comedies and is pretty good. Not gonna lie, she even had a one-season cartoon show called Mother Up, and she's not voicing Poison Ivy. The actual voice actor of Poison Ivy is someone by the name of Lake Bell, which, if her parents actually named her that, holy shit. But basically, Lake Bell is, her talent is being severely underestimated in this situation. And I do mean that. Normally, she's in movies as a supporting character or the, you know, female lead possibly in shit. But I'm not gonna lie, I want to see her do more voice acting. To my knowledge, as far as voice acting, she's only been in Spider-Man as Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, one of the best animated movies of all time, mind you. As Wilson Fisk's wife, so she only had 3 lines. And of course, she's in The Secret Life of Pets 2.
She delivers it perfectly.
Yeah, for those who don't remember Daria, it was one of the only shows, animated at that, but comedies in general, where the main character was deadpan by nature. And as much as I love Daria, one of the biggest problems is that her line delivery is slow. But if you just took Daria and sped her up to a normal speaking speed, you would be getting Poison Ivy. And I gravitated towards that character. They even both have illogical, for no reason at all, thick ass green leather coat on in the middle of the summer, or just literally at all seasons, no matter what.
Hey, she said that was her favorite coat. She's gonna wear her favorite coat.
Do you have a favorite wig?
Yes, actually. It's purple, and I wear it a lot.
You were supposed to say no, so I can't say that now. Oh well. Point is that I don't care how much you like something, you can do something to an illogical degree. If you like tomatoes, that's fine, especially when you got it in pasta. If you eat 30 tomatoes a day, you have a fucking problem. However, I have nothing against that coat. What are those damn not pants? I literally thought she was running around half naked until the second season, the first season, when she I can't really go into too many spoilers, but when she got disrobed. I thought those were her actual legs.
I will give you that. I do wish they would have made it like even darker shade of green, or maybe would have done something different, put like green tendrils going up it or something. It looks good on her for Poison Ivy. It does feel like a more modern dressed Ivy, but the shade between her skin color and that is really subtle. And the fact that it's like leggings, like footed leggings, which you're not a girl, you don't know fashion. You can have leggings, you could have like footed thick tights or something like that.
It's just weird.
It is kind of strange, so I'll give you that one. Staring at the picture now, it's like, oh, I forgot, like, her pants connect to her would-be socks. It's kind of weird.
You know you look weird as fuck in a show that has Kite Man, and he looks better dressed than you.
I'm actually not a huge fan of Kite Man's. design. He's just too monotone for colors.
It's okay. No one has ever been a huge fan of Kite Man.
I like Kite Man.
You like Kite Man because of how they represented him. Kite Man is the good guy who never catches a break, which is ironic because he's a fucking villain. Kite Man, that guy who is the nicest, most beautiful man ever, swole as fuck, good personality, but he can't land a girl because he's 5'5". That's who Kite Man is in this show.
Oh, that's why they did. You know, I wish I would have known that going into this because, of course, I didn't know jack shit about half these characters, like what they were like in the DC universe. Which I like that, how it's a bunch of side characters in a way. But no, that's kind of cool, the twist they did on Kite Man for this series. Obviously, we'll get into that later. Don't want to do any spoilers, but I like it.
Okay, so basically, the way it works is with... Are you texting?
Oh, shoot. Sorry. Phone not silenced. I didn't even notice it. Hold on. There we go.
So basically, the way it works now, this is more speculation based on from what I'm told / seen and also experienced myself. Almost every flat decade, near the beginning of the decades, there is some form of a boost or increase in advertisement, marketing, promotion, and materials for DC's characters at the start of every 10 years in the animated spectrum. But something happened because Batman did so well. They started making a series of DC animated movies, right? Mm-hmm. And they are really fucking good. Put it this way. For every shitty live action DC movie, which is what, 90% of them? Oh, I'm sorry, that's being nice. 99% of them. There's 5 good animated movies, and they even get name brand actors that are insane. I'll acquire it for you, but there's one called Batman Under the Red Hood, which is largely considered to be one of the best animated movies Warner Brothers has ever produced. And the Red Hood is just one of the Robins that came back to life because he was dead, and he was mad that Batman didn't get revenge for killing the Joker. The directors, the writers for those are almost never the people that direct the live action. So obviously you can see the quality is hot booty garbage for live action for a reason. They don't want to consult the people who know how to mold these characters, not even just to be cool, but to just be interesting. Kite Man is not cool, but he is interesting. If this show ends at like season 5 and we get a Kite Man show, I would watch it. Now Condiment King, well, fuck Condiment King. He needs a better villain than Condiment King, I'll say that much now. Oh yeah, Condiment King is in this show. Condiment King will never be referenced again in the entire history of all of comics. Condiment King was basically meant to be a joke villain for a children's story in Batman, like 40 years ago, I think.
Seriously thought Condiment King was just something they invented just for this series. I had to have a friend tell me, no, that's real. I'm like, excuse me?
Character you see that has a name that existed before this show, I promise you, was in a comic or in another show. Harley Quinn is a very unique exception. She was made to be a challenge to Robin, but it just didn't happen. She got her own popularity, then they decided to incorporate her in the comics. That's right. Harley Quinn is one of the rare situations where a character for DC was born in a different form of media and then incorporated into the comics. So that's basically the primary plots. Plot 1, Harley getting away from the Joker and trying to stand on her own 2 feet, which I've always found ironic because Harley Quinn has absolutely no powers, but she's had a chemical reaction in her body. Same with the Joker. The Joker has absolutely no powers, but they've had chemically warped DNA. That is the weirdest shit. Everyone else has a chemical issue. They get a superpower, whether they're a hero or a villain, but Harley Quinn and the Joker get nothing. Just so you guys know right now.
More things changed in season 2.
Yeah, but Zax, we did Batman. Okay, well, first off, what's the name of the show? Harley Quinn. Okay? The show's not Batman and Harley Quinn. It's not Joker and Harley Quinn. It's not Harley Quinn, Joker, and Batman, the love triangle that never ends. That's just a joke I make about all 3 of them. It's Harley Quinn. So Bruce is not going to be coming up that much. We may see even less of the Joker. We're going to see the Joker when they do in the inevitable season 3. They're getting a season 3. I promise you this. It has better odds than the new season of Young Justice, which they kept digging a hole. God, it was so good.
Don't bring that up. I'm so sad.
It's like Old Yeller. You love the dog. The dog is the shit. But oh no, The dog got fucked up, and you gotta put the dog down. God.
We can talk about this later, of course, too. But I don't know. Like, as much as I love this Harley Quinn series, the longer a series goes, the more scared I get for each new season because companies have such a great. Or they're so great at beating dead horses. So, like, fingers crossed for Harley Quinn season 3. I want to see it, but I really hope they can keep up the momentum.
That's why I like BoJack Horseman, which you should watch, but it may make you sad.
But I've heard good things.
Yeah, it ended, but they ended in such a way they could have kept going.
I want a show to make me go through all the emotions. I usually judge, like, when I'm watching anime, how much I enjoy it. Am I happy? Am I anxious? Am I sad at some points? Am I so angry at whatever's happening that I want to yell at the TV? Like, make me feel extreme emotions. If you can do that with your series or whatever it is, you're successful.
Oh, I totally agree, except when it comes to tear jerky bullshit. I ain't trying to cry off a TV show.
I love when TV shows make me cry.
Yeah, I know. For some reason, I keep meeting women that say that shit and act like I'm just going to sit there and think that that's perfectly normal. Fuck is wrong with y'all? Anyways, so, yeah. Do not come to this show expecting everyone and their mom in the Batman's Rogues Gallery to play immersive, important parts. Some characters will stay longer just because they're Harley Quinn supporting cast, but those big players, they're meant to be on the side because it's the Harley Quinn show and it's in reverse. If you can get past that, then you're automatically going to like it. If you can't get past it, man, shut your virgin incel nerdy ass up. Fucking hate when y'all bitch about petty shit.
The Justice League gets like one episode where they actually do anything, and I think they only appear in like 3 episodes.
Yeah, and 2 of those episodes are in season 2. So first season, you only see them once. Shit, like, people don't understand. Like, this show told you what it was from the get-go. Harley Quinn. Harleen Quinzel. The one character that no matter what didn't even get a defining comic book story that made her make canonical sense until like 4 or 5 years ago. And hasn't gotten one since. And you know why? It was because they finally sat down and gave her a comic book origin story. Not just, oh, here's what she did, and this is what led to her being with Joker, the end. No, they actually went into months, years before she got involved with the Joker. She was an okay human being. She did the ultimate mistake anyone does when they get into college. You fuck the professor. You don't fuck the professor. You can fuck the teacher. You can fuck your fellow students. You don't fuck the professor. Because when you fuck the professor, no matter what happens, people are going to think that you flashed some ass just to get a good grade and get that diploma. It sucks.
I'm gonna, just from a teaching perspective, don't
I said
fuck
professor,
the
not teacher.
there.
I said professor.
Like, it's still the same thing. It's still somebody who's
no, it's not.
teaching you things.
No, it's not.
What's a teacher compared to a professor?
Someone with a master's degree. But also,
okay.
Professor has to be involved with the. I'm not trying to put you down, but there is a difference, damn it.
No, I'm not a professor. Hands down, I know I'm not. But like, I teach at a community college. We're more or less, we're all teachers. There's a few of us who I call professor, but we're all teachers.
Yeah, but professor is like comparing Super Saiyan to regular Saiyan.
Okay.
A professor has to basically sign off on the certification for you to even get your degree and diploma.
You're talking about that. Okay, gotcha.
Basically has to make sure you get the grade to pass to get to the next, and the registrar takes care of the diploma and the degree.
That gets messy. I had to do like a training course about that kind of stuff too. I think the good rule is just don't.
You've never had a hot teacher. Anyways.
Are you trying to say I'm not a hot teacher?
I said you've never been taught by a hot teacher.
Still, like,
and no, you're not a hot teacher because you as a teacher is boring.
You're so mean. You don't see what I wear when I go teach. I dress up in my Lolita, and the students love it.
The students love it because Animu cosplay shit.
Oh yeah, no, my class is great.
A hot teacher is completely different than a teacher who's adorable and tiny and shit. That's 2 different pay grades. It's like comparing a supermodel to an e-thought.
And just like one final thought on like the premise and general plot of Harley Quinn, it is definitely like wait, what do they call that? Where like the villain becomes the hero, sort of thing. So like I'm sure most people kind of. Okay, so it is anti-hero. I was right. It is an anti-hero show, so like don't come in expecting like Harley Quinn to be this bloodthirsty killer and like yes, villains and chaos and destruction constantly. It does have to have a plot and character development. So we will see an anti-hero story out of this, but it's still very interesting. I think they handle it super well.
Who's your favorite characters?
Fudge. Honestly, I've enjoyed most of the characters, and usually I get very biased. Half the time, it's like I don't like the main characters of shows, and I end up liking the side characters a lot. But I think an easier list is characters I don't like. This is probably gonna make a lot of people upset, but I actually don't like Clayface that much. I just think he's Clayface and King Shark. I like King Shark, his personality, and as like if you completely like separate him from the show, I think King Shark is hilarious and I adore him.
He's a comedian in real life.
Oh, nice. He does it very well. Just bit this guy's head off. Oh my god, I love him. Anyway, one of my good friends, he loves Clayface because he loves that like over the top theatrical stupidness of Clayface. And in the first handful of episodes, I thought it was pretty funny too, but I was waiting for him to kind of do more and I guess be more what's one for? Utilize, yeah, with his powers, because like I loved in the end was like you could fucking do this the entire time, Clayface. What the fuck? I thought that was hilarious because I was thinking the exact same thing. But Clayface's over the top dramatic actor thing got really boring and stale for me, and it just became obnoxious. I kind of was waiting for him to stop talking so they can move on with the goddamn episode. Versus King Shark, where his inputs are very short and quick, where he'll just kind of like make a comment in that like oblivious, innocent way. Like he's such a good guy despite being a villain, and he'll just say like really outrageous things like without even realizing it. Like when he talks about like biting someone's head off, or just like I can't even think of half of his lines, but they always made me chuckle, which I appreciate. But neither of them had much relevance in my opinion, especially when it came to the second season. Yeah, they were her posse, and yeah, they were her basically her grunts, but the whole point was that Harley Quinn wasn't trying to have grunts. She was trying to have a team where everyone was equal, and the team was Harley and Ivy. Okay, and Psy was amazing too. But other than those two, I liked most of the characters who mattered, who like showed up more times and had more relevance. Like I'm not really considering Psycho's son or his ex-wife or like the Justice League. They really had like no time to give you anything, though Superman's really egotistical bullshit was pretty funny. Oh shoot, who was it? What do you think about the Riddler? Because I loved what they did in season 2 with him. I thought that was fucking hilarious.
You don't want to ask me about the Riddler because I don't know if you heard about a show called Community.
No.
You've never watched Community? Oh my fucking! I fucking hate you.
No, I live under a rock.
Michigan isn't a rock, but you chose to live under it. Anyways,
right?
Ever since I first saw Jim Rash on Community, my first thought was, man, this dude is a principal of a school. This dude needs to play the Riddler at some point. I got my wish.
He did so well, and like the voice he picked was excellent. Like every time he talked, I was laughing.
He got it from Community. In Community, he was a gay dude obsessed with trying to fuck a student.
Oh dear.
That's gonna come up a lot. Get used to it.
Looking at his picture too of Jim Rash, he looks like the Riddler.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
They did a live action version of the series. Like cast him as the Riddler. It's perfect.
Normally, the Riddler is a red-headed dude. They weren't trying to channel some type of Irish cartoony type thing, but it just came out like that. He wears green and black, and his hair is red. But they started making him bald in recent depictions, and even when the newest Batman movie came out, where the Riddler was actually the most dangerous villain in Gotham, like he was bald. And I was just like, why didn't they get Jim Rash? They got Jim Rash. Also, in Community, he wears more dresses and fancy-ass foofy skirts than you do. Anyways.
Oh, I'm jealous. I wonder if that's why in season 2, I guess I'll have to say right here, like, potential spoiler alert, but they gave him the university. I wonder if that was like a little like tip the hat to Jim Rash in the community.
And did you notice how much forest and greenery was around there? Guess what the community
That's,
college was called? Greendale.
that's fantastic.
It's all on Hulu and Netflix.
Oh god, who else do we have? Like, so there was just so many characters in Harley Quinn because they brought in all these like I guess they're not all side villains, but like Bane and stuff like that.
Oh my!
What?
I'm glad you said Bane.
So when Bane started talking, all my friends just died laughing. And of course, I'm like, yeah, that's a really funny voice, tee hee. But I guess it's something to do with like an old version of Bane. That voice comes from something.
We figured out. We knew that Tom Hardy was playing Bane, but here's what we didn't know. We didn't know what he would sound like, which wasn't really going to be an issue because it's live action and people know what Tom Hardy sound like. But one day, Tom Hardy showed up in Chicago or either New York, and he had sunburn on his face, right? But the sunburn was only around his lips and a part of his forehead, and no one knew what the fuck it was like that for. Bane wore a mask the whole entire time during filming, and he got a tan from it. But that mask warped his voice. That Bane that's on the show is imitating specifically Christian Bale movies, Bane.
And later on, just I killed the Batman, and just oh god. Actually, I like that. Like that's another a side thing about this series. Even though I don't get all the references, I've looked into a few of them. There are a lot of little Easter eggs throughout this series.
Fuck everybody, man. I like Kite Man.
It's great. No, I agree with you 100%.
I know, but you know how it is with these nerds. If they're lame once, they're lame forever. This is the only time Kite Man is ever going to grow his fan base. Let Kite Man have his day. And of course, it goes without saying, I love me some Cyborgman, aka Jason Alexander, but everybody loves Jason Alexander. The only person that doesn't like Jason Alexander is the NRA, but it's the NRA. Fucking love that. Dude, like, first and foremost, every time you think you understand this character, wait about 5-6 episodes, they add another fucking layer.
True.
It is a little bit weird that he can transform into a station wagon.
Oh my god, I have pictures I've been waiting to like post for if we talked about him doing that. It's haunting, and I accidentally rewatched that part like 3 times because my thing kept on like cutting out or I was having issues and stuff. And
damn, it was like the first time you see Frieza turn into that freakish fucking monster in Dragon Ball. You know they based that shit off the Predator. I loved Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor, voiced by everyone's favorite villain, Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh, I totally forgot he appeared. Like, actually, I don't even remember. What did he appear for? What did he do?
I fucking love, besides saying his name, the way he was perceived. I just wish he was utilized more, but I understand that it would feel weird if Harley Quinn magically made an enemy out of the one villain who practically pays attention to no villains and he only loves obsessing over Superman.
I think his position was just fine in the series, being the head of the supervillain club. That seems appropriate.
And also Sana Lathan. And no, it's not because Sana Lathan is very, very adorable, but because Catwoman was one of those characters that I knew would show up. She's never in Birds of Prey, but she knows like everyone in Birds of Prey. I just wanted to know how she was going to be utilized, and I'm happy with how they did it. Catwoman is basically the equivalent of an E-Thought. Why is she there? To get money. What is her purpose? To get money. Does she care how she get the money? No. She just cares that she's getting money that she didn't already have.
I was about to argue with you when you said that Catwoman was an E-Thought. I'm like, she does not have the personality of one. But when you say it like that, she's just there to get money. Yeah, I see it. Yep, 100%.
First rule of E-Thought, there is no personality. There is only manipulation. And
Touché.
What did she do the whole entire time she was there? Manipulate Poison Ivy, or manipulate Harley Quinn, or manipulate her way into stealing some shit.
True, I loved Catwoman.
Did Catwoman save all of the friends and cohorts she was working with because she wanted to save them? Or did she save them because she needed them as future meat shields later on? Like, she is that good of a character that you honestly don't know.
Very true.
one of my real true favorites, fucking Frankie Muniz, because he's only in one episode. I love Frankie Muniz.
Calm your tits, okay?
I remember when I could say that.
I say it way too much.
2009 was the verbal apocalypse. Don't get me wrong. We all knew the verbal apocalypse was going to happen. Ironic, DC does have the near apocalypse of 2009.
The plant.
Oh. Yeah, you have no. I was calling him JB Plant my whole. So Frank is Plant, voiced by JB Smoove, who is a comedian who's been around forever. But as he is Darkness incarnate, even though he is super old, he basically stopped aging when he was 40.
He does not look in his 50s. I would say late 30s.
And wait till you see Chris Rock. When Chris Rock dyes his hair, people think he's 40. A little bit of a meta moment in season 2. And to be fair, no one knew this was going to happen. He shows up more in season 2 because the audience liked him and he tested well. Of course he did. JB Smoove is a comedian and he's playing a plant that is funny, but the plant is a sidekick of a sidekick. Or he's a sidekick of a supporting character, so to speak. I like him. However, my biggest issue with him is that he's almost never properly utilized, but he's there to provide comedic situations at the same time. So technically he does his job, but I want to see him be utilized in more unique ways because, let's be honest, no pun intended, but those plant jokes and plant things he does are going to get stale and dry as early as season 3. And season 3 hasn't even happened yet. They've done nothing with him that he couldn't have done or hasn't already done in season 1. I want him to be able to be put into more situations. So at some point in time, they're going to give Frank legs. Literally, not metaphorically. He's going to need legs.
No, JB Smoove is hilarious, and I love his delivery on Frank, but I don't like Frank as a character. One of my biggest, concerns whenever I hear about Harley Quinn shit is, okay, is this going to be the LOL so random Harley Quinn? The, what the fuck is that meme? The something holds up spork. Roar, I'm a dinosaur, holds up spork. Fucking hate that early 2000 high school bullshit. Over it. And most Harley Quinn stuff is that. Like, Harley, why did you just, I don't know, blow up that building with a bazooka and then eat a hot dog? LOL, because I'm Harley Quinn. Which the show actually kind of makes fun of that mentality, which I did appreciate. Frank as the character, again, JB Smoove had a wonderful performance on it, but it's just Frank the character and his personality I did not like.
Where did the booty come from? Did he have a booty in season 1?
Oh shoot, I forgot to look. Okay,
I know, that's what I'm saying.
We have to make sure.
The Frank has a booty. He's a plant head that has a booty on his head, the back of his head. How does he have a booty? Let me stop.
We need to confirm. Was this in season 1 or just season 2?
That's what I can't find.
Wait. Do you think Frank likes it in the back too? Do you think he's kinky like that?
I don't think there's actually a hole back there.
But what if there is?
Then I'm sure that you're going to get your kicks to it. Anyways.
Season 3, please tell us.
I have absolutely no belief whatsoever that you have normal people porn search history. Anyways.
I don't save anything. Oh wait, you said search. Never mind.
Yeah, I know how to pull up people's search history, but I don't do it unless I get a laugh out of it. I don't think I would laugh at yours, more like cry. All right, now as far as art style, I hate to say it, but it is very generic and I'm used to it, but that's okay. Generic is safe unless it's Animu, because Animu, I hate generic Animu, because generic Animu tells me immediately you didn't want to put effort into it. And I'm not saying that they didn't put effort into this show, but the art style they utilize is extremely common and DC has utilized it multiple times. That's not a bad thing. If you got people who are already experienced in creating an art style, as you know from anyone who does any form of animation or learned any form of art, the more used to it and experienced someone or a group of people are with it, the better off it's going to be. I'd rather them utilize a style they're comfortable with and have used before, instead of, for lack of a better term, complete and total hot booty garbage and then learn to get better over time. Case in point, you ever watch The Boondocks? I swear to God if you say no.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not hear me? I said yes.
Yes, okay. Season 1's animation is so bad that it randomly clips on certain sections no matter what happens. They even openly acknowledged it.
Oh no.
It was so bad, they actually changed the opening to the first episode, and no one's ever seen it outside of the studio department. They got permission from George Lucas himself to theme the opening of the episode after Star Wars. But it was animated so poorly, they went with the Jesus is black, Ronald Reagan is the devil, and the government is lying about 9/11. Now, the first two are debatable. But anyways, I'm just sitting up here like, point blank, if you compare that to season 2 and season 3, and for night and day difference wise, night and day.
God, I wonder if I can go like find the original openings. I'd love to see it.
But anyways,
Okay.
yeah. And so just because for that alone, I give the art style an A. It's not super exciting. It's not super revolutionary, but guess what? It didn't need to be. It needed to be good and need to be consistent. And it was.
Agree there. Like I'm a sucker for anime-esque cartoon styles. Like I don't want them to be full-blown anime, but I still want them to be like American cartoon style. Oh my god, that was the word. So if you think of like Avatar: Last Airbender, that one's a fantastic example. It has a very anime style to it, but it still looks like an American cartoon.
So what grade would you give the art style?
I'm with you. I give it like an A. Okay, the art style specifically, probably like a B plus to an A minus. Because like you said, it's nothing interesting or unique, but it's good. It's very solid. So solid grade there.
Well, I know my best moments by heart, so I'm gonna just blow through them real quick.
Go ahead.
Dark Side is one of the best moments because if there was ever a character you did not expect to show up in this show, it's Dark Side. Now, I don't know if you know the history. Actually, I know for damn well you don't. But I'm going to just break down what Dark Side is. Literally, Dark Side is Thanos 2.0. The original creator of Marvel, a lot of Marvel characters, because sometimes they leave to DC and come back, or they just stay gone, was a dude named Jack Kirby. He's very, very legendary and famous North American comic book artist. He created new gods, but he wanted there to be villains among the new gods, and they were actually called the new gods. Darkseid is basically the one true villain that almost unilaterally exists in every form of reality, because Darkseid is, which is his catchphrase. But what they're really trying to get over to people is that Darkseid is a character whose job is to create unilateral chaos and organize the chaos under his rule. So anyways,
Jesus.
Yeah. He owns an entire planet that is basically what Christians think hell would look like. Mm-hmm. Fire pits that are miles and miles long, and the fire can shoot up so far it can leave the planet's atmosphere. It's crazy. That's his home planet. Darkseid being in the show, and they found a way to use him in a comic way, which has never happened in Darkseid history. And they did it without even changing his character. Second thing, Damien. I just love that little rascal. I'm mad that they didn't use him, which you already knew. What was the third thing? Oh yeah. Despite half of her body, Poison Ivy, constantly being horny for Harley, but knowing Harley is the definition of a bad decision, but she's also a bad guy. So, you know, depending on the night, a bad decision ain't all that bad.
I didn't mind like at first when the whole like thing with Harley and Ivy first started happening, I'm like, okay, I'm a little irritated by this because it feels like they're just forcing the gay agenda onto us. But then I kind of stopped to think about it a little bit more, and it makes actually sense for Harley and Ivy. And like you even said, Ivy was always struggling with knowing that she cared for Harley, but also knew Harley was the definition of a bad decision. So it still makes sense, and she saw the growth in Harley Quinn. And like I've talked to so many people from real life experiences, when you see somebody you care about trying, they're putting that effort forward to better themselves, you can't hate them for it. You love them for it. You love that they're trying. And Harley was trying so hard. So Ivy, of course, loved that for her. Love that in her. Joker, though, his happy ending was kind of random for me. I guess I get it that he had that moment of clarity, realizing that he did enjoy being a father figure. And you can even tell, like, when he finally won the city, spoilers, won the city, had Batman custody, et cetera, et cetera, he got bored of torturing Batman. He's like, holy shit. What?
No, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, yeah. So it makes sense, but it feels like more of a stretch to me. So I'm interested to see what they do with Joker in season 3. I feel like he's going to become more of an ally, kind of like he did towards the end of season 2, where he more or less helped them save the city. But it's going to be an interesting dynamic.
There's nothing I want more than a regret fuck with Harley and Joker.
Ooh, I do not want that.
I don't troll fans, but let me tell you, sometimes when a fan gets mad, it's because something good happened. If she has sex with the Joker again, a regret fuck, oh my god, I'm gonna love it.
I'm gonna hate if they do, because that's like going, like, it depends on how they do it. If they set it up correctly, I could understand it. But like, if she does that, that's her taking so many steps back. Like she almost did when he, she almost did like several times. Also, that would ruin his life that he's building. Joker blatantly said he's still gonna kill and murder, but he'll do that on the weekends, not when he has the kids, sort of thing.
Okay, now what are your best moments?
Mine are as defined as yours, but there's a lot of moments I liked in the series. I liked both of the times they had to go into Harley and Ivy's heads, and you got a lot more backstory and the emotional trauma that they had to deal with. So that was really fun learning about that and then seeing how they handle it. I actually love it when Ivy is stuck in the hospital and she nearly gets out by herself. I loved that moment of just look how fucking badass Ivy is. My friends, because obviously I don't know as much about DC World, were always telling me that Ivy is like probably the strongest villain. She's like one of the few who could actually beat Batman. But
She could actually, if there weren't magicians or magic people in the Justice League, she could fuck with a lot of people because
right?
her weapon is the planet.
Exactly. And I like, even though they kept on telling me this, I didn't 100% believe it, or it's like, yeah, sure, I'll see it when I see it. But that episode where she was so independent and so smart too, like Ivy is very intelligent. It's just, fuck yeah, you go, girl. It sucked that she in the end needed help anyway, but the fact that she was so close to doing it by herself, absolutely amazing. That was like a good girl power moment for me. I did like the moment where Queen of Fables slaughtered that entire family, not because yay bloodshed, but it was that defining moment of Harley, you are not a villain. These guys are villains. They're insane. They're cold-blooded. They don't give two shits about lives. You actually do care about lives. So like Ivy would tell her several times, you might be a villain, but you're a good person, sort of thing. So I like that kind of really hard contrast between a true villain and Harley. The beginning of the series was so fucking funny, and they just did such outrageous things. Harley walking into the fucking bar mitzvah with a tiger in one hand and like all done up with all this swag and shit, just to realize it was a bar mitzvah. Yeah, it was cliche, but it was so funny as shit. Then she's sitting there talking with like the young bar mitzvah kid and his friends, talk about finger banging. And it's like, these boys are so awkward and uncomfortable, but they want to look cool in front of Harley. I think it was really well done and silly and set a really good tone for the series overall. But yeah, there's a lot of good moments in this series. I really can't talk about all of them. And there really isn't that much that I would change about the series either. Mainly my only pet peeves, I guess, would be Joker. His sudden transformation felt a little forced. Psycho was kind of weird throughout it too. I was a little pissed off when he first, spoilers, when he first betrayed Harley and took over the thing with Riddler. I was a little pissed at first about that because it felt very random. But again, I stopped to think about it. What was that? That's, I was gonna say that once I stopped to think about it, Psycho had voiced his dislike and like how pissed off he was that Harley wasn't doing the things he wanted to do this entire time. So when I stopped to think about it, it made more sense. It just still kind of felt out of left field, like it suddenly happened. But it did make sense, and they were very subtly leading up to this backstabbing from Psycho. And I'm gonna go out there and say that I think he and Riddler are like banging, because Psycho did make some, like, obviously they weren't like super all over each other, but he'd be like, damn, look at those thighs of Riddler. And he's like, man, your body is good. And it's like, I see what you're doing there. Like, that's my canon. I don't think it's canon for the show, but that's my canon. That too. I really liked Ivy and Kite Man's development for their relationship, like how Ivy came to terms with letting herself be loved. And that was very nice because showing her backstory and everything, her having to kind of let go and just let her and Kite Man be a normal relationship and realize that Kite Man does truly care about her and that he deserves the same. That was a very nice character development for Ivy too. And big spoiler alert for the end of season 2. So if you guys don't want to hear the ending of season 2, don't listen to this. But Kite Man fucking standing up for himself? Fuck yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do this right. Hell yeah for Kite Man. Like, I was waiting for this to happen because, like, even I was sitting here thinking, if Kite Man doesn't see what's going on, I don't like that about his character. Because you could tell that he was kind of putting on that face of, it's okay, babe. Yeah, whatever you gotta do, babe. It's totally okay that you keep on ditching me for Harley. So for him to finally be like, no, I saw this coming. You've hurt me too many times. I can't do this now. No, I'm not going to marry you. I deserve better. It was just such a hell yeah moment for Kite Man. Absolutely loved it from him.
And the final thing I would change, hey, I want Nightwing. I want Nightwing because I want all the female villains, because it's even talked about among the females in the actual comics. Everybody want a piece of Nightwing. I want Harley to actually get into something with Nightwing, or Poison Ivy to get into something with Nightwing, and they both like, oh my god, we can't keep doing this. Yeah, I'm sorry. Look, don't tell Batman I was here. Just something.
Actually, I can agree with that. So they said about season 3, it's not going to be is Harley and Ivy going to break up? Oh no, that's not the route they're taking for season 3, because they are keeping Harley and Ivy together. What they're going to do with season 3 is kind of show the growth and show how Ivy and Harley's relationship is going to grow and mature. They will go through some obstacles that might test their relationship, but they're not going to have that will they or won't they break up. So throwing Nightwing into the mix and having it be like this really weird thing where Harley and Ivy are both horny for this guy would be really interesting to their relationship. So I'm for it.
I mean, plus they're fuck buddies. They literally, well, Ivy is totally capable of having a committed relationship. Harley Quinn literally doesn't understand the concept of a functional relationship. So Nightwing in there wouldn't even hurt shit. It would be more like one of them's trying to hide it from the other, and the other one finds out at the end of the season, which that would be the best cliffhanger ever. I just don't know which one I want to see well, not watch, but I want to know about fucking Nightwing more than the other. And then what happens when Starfire, who was almost his wife, has super strength comparable to fucking Superman and has eye lasers, finds out about it. Can you, oh my God, just the whole end of the end of the season, all Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn are trying to do is survive Starfire.
That would be interesting.
And if you don't know who Starfire is, you should die, because I know you watch Teen Titans.
Oh, I know who Starfire is. Unfortunately, I don't know a lot about her like history as a character. I mainly know her Teen Titans version.
First person to try to marry Nightwing.
Oh yeah, I just found the picture of when Ivy's pheromones make the Justice League horny, and it's Wonder Woman and Batman about to get it on. I forgot about that. Oh God, even in serious moments, I love that about the Harley Quinn show, is that they are very short and quick with their humor. So it's like they're not fucking Family Guy who spends 10 minutes beating a fucking joke that wasn't funny in the first place. Like, that's the problem with a lot of comedy these days when it comes to cartoons and even adult cartoons, is they take a joke that they think is funny, beat it over 10 minutes, and then try to move on. And it's like, now we're bored and we're mad at you for wasting our time. If anyone has watched Mau Mau, The Defenders of Pure Heart Valley, that's another great example of good comedy these days. They say a lot of short, quick, dumb things, and it's really funny, but they don't draw it out. It's over, it's done with, let's move on. Hey, we got another quick joke, excellent. We're continuing on. We're not stopping for these fucking jokes. Fucking love Mau Mau. At one point, they blew up a cheeseburger. When it exploded, it turned into like a little cheeseburger cloud. It was very short and stupid, but they didn't like take time to dwell on it. It was great. But yeah.
I have no idea what Mau Mau is, so I have nothing to say at that point.
That's just a random picture.
Now the last of it is grade the story and grade the characters and why they got the grade. Basically grade shit and then summarize it for the audience. Go.
Fucking A. I won't give an A+ because I just feel like that doesn't exist. Or you
You're
have
a
to
teacher.
But like, this is a little bit okay when it comes to entertainment. To be flawless in your entertainment, that is insane. If you can give, I'd have to like go back and like seriously think about a show that I thought was absolutely flawless. I think there was one, but like that's my standard. I have to have nothing to nitpick about you. Harley Quinn comes so close. Like if an A+ is 99%, this is like 98%. It's very close, but there's still some things where it's like a few things feel a little forced, a few things feel too predictable, and not a lot of your characters, but there is still a chunk of characters who are super underdeveloped and boring. But so close, like coming again from a person who does not like Harley Quinn, never liked her, never will, hate people who think she's amazing. But this series, even if it wasn't about Harley Quinn, would still be absolutely, or whatever. Regardless of who the main character is about, it's an amazing series and is so funny and enjoyable to watch. In fact, I'm staring at a picture right here of the Bridesmaids episode, and what the fuck was her name? Like Karen or Courtney or something like that. She's just an average fucking like 30-year-old girl or lady holding a sword. Just yeah, come at me, bro. I love it. It's great. But so I give the story an A. It was very good, very enjoyable, and there's a lot of development in it. Same with the characters. The characters as a whole, I give them an A too, because there was some great character development, and everyone was pretty interesting. Like I said, there's only a few characters I thought were pretty boring or mundane, but for the most part, every time these, like just even these 5 on my screen right now, Nora, Catwoman, Ivy, Harley, and fucking Jennifer, what the fuck her name was. Even Jennifer was great, and she only appeared in like 3 episodes. But even Jennifer had a lot of personality. We don't get a backstory and character arc from her, but she had a lot of personality, and it was really fun seeing her react to different situations and given the short amount of time that she had. So yeah, fucking A overall for Harley Quinn, just Harley Quinn, whatever they call this series. Also, here's this picture for you.
Really, really good.
Oh, thanks. And usually I am happy to hate on things. I don't want to hate on this series. I like it a lot.
Thought you were just happy to hate on E-Thoughts, but nice
That
to
too.
diversify your portfolio.
Oh, I'll hate on anything.
So for me, the story alone, which I mean, I can't stress it. The only true weak beat I found about the story, and it could maybe just because they wanted it only as an origin and didn't want to do shit with it, was B-plot material. Here's the thing about a B-plot, though. It's not supposed to be as fun and interesting as the A-plot.
Mm-hmm.
But not often. I give the story by itself an A. Not an A+, because I know those exist, but an A. They have maybe 1 episode per season where everything that happens is so fucking not important that you're not even sure why they're wasting time animating it. But the fact that there's only 2 episodes a season that feel like that to me, rare. Now, obviously, this show doesn't need to even have filler because, first off, it's on an online service. They don't have any ratings boards or network executives to fucking answer to. They don't. Now, as far as the characters go, I have a love-hate relationship with a lot of them because the ones I hate is because they're good at their job to the point where it annoys me, but that's what they're supposed to do in the show. Or, I only saw them once or twice, Damien. And then the other times it's just, oh, these guys are fucking top-notch voice actors, or their perception of the character is so nuanced and it's rarely been seen that it's fucking enjoyable. Two-Face and Penguin are 2 of the most boring villains that have ever existed in comic books. You can quote me on that. But the Penguin, when they made the whole shit basically about a bar mitzvah. Bro, that is the most interesting thing the Penguin has done in any media he's been in. Two-Face lived and died by the original animated series because we saw him be born and how he came out from beginning to end. Then they had the movie iteration, spike in popularity again. Then here we get him here, bro. He's the group bully. He's the guy that shows up in the group that everyone likes when he's making jokes until he's harassing people and making jokes about them. He treated Bane like Bane was his bitch. The whole show. Whole show. Bane, who can literally flex out of a bullet. No, Bane. Hey, it's not 2 faces like, you know, my first face and second face. It's 2 faces like it's me and it's you working together.
Oh
Bitch, that's 3 faces then, goddammit. Oh, no, Bane, you don't get the big kid's chair. We give you the metal chair because, you know, RSVP and rest in peace for Mr. Freeze's chair. Nah, Bane. It's like, bro, this character, he's never going to be utilized like this again. He's never going to be this interesting. But as long as he's fucking with Gordon, him being a nemesis for Gordon worked. It made sense. They're old colleagues. Remember, Bane used to work for the Gotham government. I mean, not Bane, sorry, Two-Face. Oh, and the fact that they still have rules and order and chaos, like you can't call Wonder Woman a cunt. Oh my God. And they bring it up every season. You teamed up with that guy that called Wonder Woman the C word? I'm a villain, but even I'm not that low. I was laughing.
Yeah.
I was like, every last one of these motherfuckers will go on a murderous rampage at the drop of a hat, except for maybe the Riddler, because the Riddler's just a bitch.
Yeah, but I like what they did with him in this series.
Yeah. So fucking the fact that they found a way to make some of the most mundane Batman characters interesting, because despite how fun Two-Face is when he showed up, there was nothing left to do with him. They did the standard 2 or 3 episode affair of Two-Face being a villain. 1, oh no, we realized we can't save him because he's half psychotic. 2, he's embraced his psychotic nature and fuck it. 3, he goes all out and does a Hail Mary specifically trying to target Batman, fails. There was nothing left. In fact, by the time Batman and Robin came along, I was more surprised to see Two-Face on the show at all, because what else was they gonna do with him? And I'm like 9 or 8 when that show came out. I'm like, damn, Two-Face is back? What the fuck is he gonna do? For closing statement shit, you guys know you did a good job over in DC when people who do not give a shit and can't even recognize Batman villains want to see more of these characters, which you are that person. And that's one of the hallmarks I've always stated about making a good show. Even if someone watched this show not knowing shit about shit, if you can pull them in and keep their interest, I think you're doing a good job with your writing. So for me, the story, sound effects, sound, because we didn't really have to get into that because it's a cartoon show. Nothing's supposed to sound truly realistic one-to-one.
Right.
But I think everything in this show, bare minimum, all combined, gets an A.